Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nexus at Night, your weekly Vanguard stream. I'm Atlas,
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
and I'm bald.
True.
Ball.
Bald, shaved. What are you gonna do? Yeah.
Root
He
beer.
finally
How's it-
decided to give up. He knew it was coming for him and decided to end it all early.
You can still make out the widow's peak.
That's true. You can see right there. I mean, you could do that. You could see that with Walter White too, which is what it was for. I dressed up as Walter White for Halloween. And for people who want to see that, go look at my social media because which is there, and have fun with that. I guess it was pretty funny going to school, and then all my students were like, "Mister, you dressed up as a teacher for Halloween when you're already a teacher?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I was going for like."
about it.
The depraved meth kingpin, and they're like, yeah, but you look like a teacher. Because I didn't have the hazmat suit or the pork pie hat. It was just the boring, like, shirt with the glasses, and carrying around a bag of smashed up Takis as the blue sky met, and yeah, that was my costume. What did you guys do for Halloween?
Well, you know what I did. I sat at
Not
home
sure.
and opened a case.
True.
That's true. I forgot that you not only streamed it of the opening of the case, but it was on Halloween night because it got there Halloween.
Yep. I wanted to do it Wednesday because you were free that day, but
That's true.
USPS decided to fuck me on that one.
Owned.
That's USPS for you.
They're trying their best.
Matt, do you remember the Seinfeld episode where Newman's like, "I'm not going to work. It's raining out," and then George is like, "Neither rain nor sleet. It's the first one."
Fucking Newman.
I'm also I'm like posting the stream on stream link on social media while we're talking. So please,
Yeah.
fill
I
me
mean,
in
the
here.
only other thing
Yeah.
I'm doing today are like deck profiles, so we can just get all our yapping out of the way first.
Sure, yeah.
So how was your case?
Man, the high or
That
the
was so
shiny
sad.
pulls are disappointing.
Ah,
Unfortunately, like all of the FFRs weren't bad, but they weren't any of the ones that I wanted.
Mm.
So okay, well the FFR Borrow Magnus I would call bad. And then I got like the grade 1 for Welstra's FFR. I got one of the grade 2s for Alcalibra. Fuck, I forgot what the other two were. Yeah, no, I forget what my other two FFRs were. I believe they were stuff I was using in a deck. I can just check on Twitter. I posted it.
true.
That's true.
Yeah,
You had it all like nice and splayed out. It's good.
Right, it was the grade 1 for what's her name? Chris Rain. So that was the
Okay.
fourth one. And then I did get one of the special energies, which saved the case. Otherwise, that was a very sad case opening.
That's good.
Correct.
Yeah. But yeah, I got like silver rares of Lycia Fail and Levy Draws, which was nice. It's just like, I do wish if I was going to be getting like FFRs of a grade 3, it would be one that I actually played.
And too bad. Now you just got to settle for money. So
Yeah.
sucks for you, I guess.
Like, yeah, this FFR is only worth $30, which, to be fair, FFRs have gone down greatly in price, both because of the addition of SRs, but also, like, the SECs are just, like, better.
Yeah.
So, like, FFRs aren't quite as valuable as they used to be, but, yeah, I'm just gonna have to settle for money, unfortunately. I'll see if anyone in my locals has, like, FFR versions of, like, things I actually want.
Zaro with the bald Atlas is kind of crazy, not gonna lie. You know what's even funnier than that? Zaro put this exact comment on like 3 of my TikToks now that I'm bald. Like
What's
just bald Atlas is crazy, not gonna lie. Bald Atlas is crazy, not gonna lie. Shave everything next year so you can be Dr. Evil. How about no?
Why not?
Fun fact,
right now.
one of my best friends growing up, his dad directed those movies.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
That's
and then his mom was the lead singer of the Bangles, because apparently when famous people marry, they marry each other.
Yep.
yeah, that usually is what happens.
He was a sweet kid. Jackson, if you're out there, I miss you and I hope you're doing well. I haven't talked to him in over 10 years at this point.
Also, Atlas, do you just want Impaldio? Because I kind of don't.
Which one's Impaldio? Is it the
The,
Messiah looking thing?
what is it? The mod one?
Yeah.
The what?
The
mod
mod
one.
The auto mod?
Sure. I'll take it if you don't want to try selling it. But like,
yeah.
What's happening? Atlas looks like he's a bassist in a band you kind of heard of but don't remember the name.
Don't you actually play the bass?
Yes, exactly. I used to play bass in a band called Obvious Plagiarism because all we did were covers.
Mm-hmm.
You can still find like concerts. I was, I think, 17 or 18 doing those. So you could see me pre-facial hair. Also, hi y'all. Hi Ed. You know, for something rated TV7, Bunny Maloney uses the word sexy a lot. What? What is Bunny Maloney?
I don't even know what that is.
Atlas's bass was named Eliza Bass? No. She's named Maya. She's a Music Man Stingray, and she's at my father-in-law's house because he has the space to store it. I wasn't expecting to be accurate. But that's half the fun, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, because I know you just like dad humor, I did send you one video about cooking bass while talking about bass.
Hang on. Like just now, or
no? This was like 2 weeks ago when the video was posted.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember you sending me that. I was like, was there a new one?
No.
What's the new one? Yeah.
But I feel like you would like Adam Raguzia's channel in general.
Maybe.
He seems like your vibe.
That makes sense. I think one of the weirdest parts of us being like when you come down here for regionals or in the future if I go up there is in the car we don't really have the same music taste, so we just kind of play
like videos
and,
yeah.
Sup y'all. Damn, Atlas shaved his head. Yes I did.
Okay, it was 3 weeks ago. Yeah, no, this week's Adam Raguzia video is about why Devil and Angel's food cake are named the way they are.
One of my favorite jokes from American Dad is about Angel food cake, where like the son and the alien try to do like a detective duo, and they want to be Wheels and the Leg Men, but they both want to be Wheels, so they're like, we'll get our own Leg Men. And at the end, Steve's like, wait a minute, because Roger picked this woman who's an angel, supposedly. He's like, wait a minute, what kind of angel eats devil's food cake? Like, stupid. Its English dub is partially lost media. Bunny Maloney is a French cartoon. Well, it's pretty insane for a show that aired on Family Channel. So this just seems like Bluey, but French, based on the name and nothing else that I know about it. There's a lot of weird sex jokes and very obvious inappropriate content.
Yeah.
Okay. SpongeBob? Anyone? Like, they got stuff like that everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how attached you are to your hair, so you actually look pretty good low key. I appreciate that, but it doesn't. If you like looked at yourself in the mirror and you're like, that's not me. That pretty much. Katie's a big fan. A lot of my students are big fans, but
it would take time for me to get used to.
Yeah. But like, it's the equivalent. Like, I look like a gym teacher that also has to teach history to like earn his keep, but he's terrible at it. That's what it looks like to me. All right, today we're going to talk about World War II. Shouldn't we cover World War I? No, we don't have the time.
Nope.
What about before World War II?
Everyone had a really good time in World War One, so they were like, let's do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was.
That couldn't be.
Let's go to war. It'll
that.
be a great war. So great, we won't need another one.
Yep. The war to end all wars, they'll call it. Wait, there's a second one? Oh, fuck. Please don't go American History X on it. Dude, no. That's the other thing I'm afraid of, is looking like a skinhead. Yeah. I don't like Nazis. I want them to get punched in the face or curb stomped if we're going by American History X. This isn't a subtle adult joke. Sometimes it's just pole dancing or girls showing your privates to the titular character and weird consent issues. It's funny you mentioned that because I was showing my my students Who Framed Roger Rabbit this week, which I love to teach. But there's like a thing where Jessica Rabbit, the impossibly hot tune, is in a car chase in the animated cab, and when they like turn around this corner, you can see up her skirt. There's nothing in there. This was a kids movie for kids, and they're like, "Why don't we show Jessica Rabbit's snatch to kids?"
They just did it.
They just did it, yeah. And then I was looking at it like, how did this get past like any of the censors or like it's a PG movie? And they're like, oh yeah, in the DVD release or whatever, they put panties on her. I'm like, okay, great, I guess. But there's still so many things where that and Watership Down, the entire time I was like, this was just allowed to be shown to children.
Yeah.
So funny to me.
All right.
Let's see.
We do have a couple of new cards we could talk about because we're starting to get into Sect 6 stuff now that we're almost done with the collab stuff.
So, PogChamp?
I'll come up with a phrasing for it eventually.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Yeah. The 80s was a hell of a drug.
All right. All right. So, should we get in? Do we have anything else we wanted to talk about before we got into new cards?
No, I guess if you want to hear more about my life and stuff, check out Generation Dan. All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have enough of an interesting life to yap for 10 minutes. All right, so we have new Solarion stuff. Everyone remembers the Pope, right? Right. So,
Pope, it's time to put on your hat and address it to people.
All right, so it was revealed recently that we were going to get new versions of Solarion and Gondiva, and they're going to be mask versions. Ooh, interesting.
They're going back to mask versions?
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Like, it seems like they did that. It would be like now. They're like, let's do a reverse again. You're like, I thought that was over, man.
I mean, they did literally do that at the end of V.
Oh my god. Yes, fine. Just
yeah, anyways, when your Vanguard with Solarion attacks, if you have a Dragon Tree marker in the same column as this unit, stand it. Sure. When it's placed on Rearguard Circle, other than during the battle phase, drink. If you have a Great 3 or greater Vanguard with Solarion or the Dragon Tree, Soul Blast 1, look at top 7, choose one card with Solarion or Mask of Hydrangea, discard it, shuffle the deck, and then you can look at the top card, put it on top or bottom. That is okay for, what was this, like a rare? Yeah, like, that's not terrible for a rare.
This looks like Gurgit's little brother.
Sort of, maybe.
I think it's the armor that does it for me, but also the hair. It's got the brown hair like Gurgit does. Like how I have no hair.
All right, we have a new Dragon Tree Wretch, Pegasus Daishach. So when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, you Energy Blast 3, just search your deck for Mask of Hydrangea. Nice. And then act, you can Counter Blast 1, bind it. Choose one of your Rearguard Circles with a Dragon Tree, put a Dragon Tree on it. Then look at the top 7 cards, choose one with Mask or the Dragon Tree, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle the deck. And then if you have one or less copies of this card in the bind zone, look at all of your cards instead of top 7. So basically, if you haven't bound this card yet, you just search your deck for any mask. So that's both the order and the mask unit. This card is insane. It
is very good. They better make this for all the nations, or I'm gonna riot. Like,
yeah,
I'm still rocking Magnolia Mask. Like, I want this for Stoichea.
Yeah, this is something that addresses a major issue, which is just like finding the pieces. You know, if you're like me and you're cursed to just never draw a Persona ride, you know, finding the mask unit can be a problem. But also, sometimes you just need to find the actual mask itself, which I guess the first ability also just searches that.
Or you're like me and you draw all the Persona rides at once, and you're like, why?
So you can have them for later.
Now I
Yeah.
gotta call one of these to rear guard, otherwise I'm gonna die next turn. It's very frustrating when stuff
Yeah.
like that happens.
Well, they didn't want you to go with that one.
All
Mhm.
right.
Next, we have the Great Sage of Shoal. I don't know what that word means. I'm curious about it, but I'll look it up later.
You got it. I'll do that.
Yeah, Scheol. This card can only be written from a Solarion Grade 3. You can Energy Blast 3 and reveal a normal unit, draw a card, then put the card that you revealed on top of your deck, and then you remove a different Solarion. You can declare either normal or trigger unit, reveal the top card of your deck. If you revealed the card that you declared, this unit gets auto once per turn. When a unit placed by this card's ability attacks this turn until end of battle, increase or decrease the drive to 1 and perform drive checks. And then on attack, you counterblast 1, look at the top 3, choose the same number as the number of Dragon Tree markers, call them the rearguard circle, then put the rest on top or bottom in any order.
All right, so Ed is correct. It is an early Hebrew word. It's like their version of the land of the dead. So if this is the Dark Pope, so Judaism before Christianity, I think that's a cool way to
that's
use
cool.
the name. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyways, this is a cool card. So it gives the removal effect gives all of your units drive checks. So it's like one of those like strong enough that you might be incentivized to run multiples, but also if you don't, in the interest of deck space, it's still just a way to like finish the game.
Mhm.
I think the trade-off compared to the original one is that you don't gain any extra power, but that's what the Dragon Tree markers are for.
Yes.
So yeah, this is a pretty good one. Remains to be seen if the Solarion cards got expensive, but I would play this.
It's pretty neat. If I taught Katie how to play Vanguard, because we love that stupid, like, it's a stupid hit joke from Family Guy, I could maybe get her to do it this way, because I'm like, it's the Pope. It's time to put on your hat and address the people. Maybe she'll, like, come around to that. I don't know.
Maybe. And then, of course, everyone expected it. The mask is being reprinted in set 6. Obviously, they're introducing new mask units. It's nice that they're actually reprinting the damn things.
It would be absolutely insane if they did not.
Yeah. So, don't buy the mask while it's like $20 right now.
There's $20 right now?
Yeah, because they announced new mask units, so everyone bought them out.
Smart.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last time.
Honestly, we might not even have to buy the old grade 2 wretches anymore because the new one is so much better, and you only want to be playing so many anyways.
Probably, yeah. The reason you ran the grade 2 was just because it straight searched you the mask.
Yeah, but like the new ones also do that, and like
better. They just do it better.
Yeah, obviously they're cheaper because they cost an energy blast now, but the only thing about the second search ability is you do have to like bind it, so you are just kind of losing the card.
Right.
Whereas the other ones are still like a body.
Yeah, you would like leave it as an interceptor or something is usually what it ended up being. Why don't I teach Katie Vanguard? Because I married a woman, and she's not a nerd like that. Her nerdy things are with like baking and horror movies. So
that's cool though. Horror movies are dope.
Yeah,
it is, but it's very much outside her like sphere of it, like understanding of nerd stuff. So I tried it once, and it just didn't really. So I haven't bothered since.
Understandable.
Yeah. But if I were to try again, I'd probably do it that way, just because put on your hat and address it to people.
Yeah. I mean, the deck might not be expensive at the moment just because no one cares about Solarion.
Nobody does.
Yeah, and I think like people have started buying out Solarion himself, but I think like the rest of the cards are all like pretty cheap still. So if you want to play Solarion, it probably wouldn't be that bad to pick up.
Well, the thing is that this month we're doing No Spend November. So aside from already in place subscriptions, groceries, gas, medicine,
no,
can't buy anything for the month of November. So I'll have to wait till December.
That sounds like a smart idea. I mean, this set is not coming out for a while anyway.
Yeah, and for people wondering, oh, what about your Christmas shopping? We're going to Japan and we're doing it there. So, which, by the way, you guys didn't answer me about. Do you want anything from Japan?
I mean, the only things I would get were like anime figures, and then I'm not gonna like impose on you for that.
Okay, or just like tell me, because my brother-in-law is making me go hunt down a Casio watch that is only made in Japan. So if he's
What
going to
the-
send me on a goddamn quest, so can you.
Yeah. Oh, it probably wouldn't be a quest. It's just gonna be like big and a pain in the ass
Hmm.
to like get.
I'll do my best.
Also expensive, but like this might be the year I finally just buy you a gaming PC so we could do other things on stream.
That would be so fucking fun.
Hey, Atlas,
Yeah.
relevant question. Have you heard of Vampire Survivors?
No, I haven't.
Oh boy, do I have something for you.
Oh,
That
is
can't
this
be-
something we can show on stream or no?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's the bitrate might be absolutely destroyed. It is the bitrate destroyer.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, Vampire Survivors is definitely stream safe. I would
Yeah.
be shocked if you couldn't.
Stream safe.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
mean, some things might get us banned on YouTube.
I don't think it's going to be this one.
You could probably play Vampire Survivors on a toaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
it is. You can play it on your phone,
Yeah.
although it's less fun there, in my opinion. Although I don't know, I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
20 minutes till dawn's fine on the phone, so I guess so is Vampire Survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a new DLC for Vampire Survivors that came out yesterday.
Boy.
So Vampire
fun-
Survivors was already like Castlevania adjacent, at least it's in its design.
I
And
do
they
like
made a
me some
DLC named-
Castlevania.
And they just made a DLC called Ode to Castlevania that just fucking puts the Castlevania characters in there.
Nice.
And you're like, well.
Cool.
I saw
But
they were-
it doesn't play like Castlevania.
Okay.
It's not related to Castlevania in like any gameplay aspect. It is literally you run around and things die around you.
It's so funny that Vampire Survivors has a new DLC around the same time that the next update to Hollow Cure got announced.
Yeah.
I mean, I found out they were doing a Castlevania musical, and I almost like. pooped my pants.
You know, I can't be surprised by that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I told my friend, who did you get to meet Emrys Root Beer at the wedding?
If I did, I don't remember. Sorry.
Okay, never mind. All right, so we're like the same kind of nerd. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what the hell? They have a Castlevania musical? And they're like, they made a Phoenix Wright musical too. I was like, they what? Yeah.
Okay, the Phoenix Wright musical I knew about for a while.
I didn't.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably wait for around like Black Friday, see if I can find you like a decent gaming laptop for under $1,000.
Oh my
Then
God.
I won't be. Look, those things get expensive if you want anything halfway decent.
It's
Unfortunately,
not about that. It's don't spend $1,000 on me. That's the Phoenix Wright musical. Yes.
Fine, I'll find one under 700. How about that?
Oh my God, you're getting the wrong like message. From this.
There are like okay. Oh, okay, maybe not that one. There was one that was 500, but it's kind of shit.
Let's see.
Anyway.
All right. So I have I only used glow nipples at one. I'm probably gonna save one and then give you two. Does that work for you?
Yep.
Alright.
Do you have any spare copies of Gabrig?
Okay, let's see. Gotta look for those. I have a lot of the broccoli for some reason.
Yeah, but I don't need that.
I know, but
Levy Dross.
I'm like looking through all my stuff and I'm like, why do I have so many copies of the broccoli for some reason?
Yeah.
Root Beer just want to show some love. I know he does.
Yeah, but also
He's a
from a
good man.
content standpoint, you having the ability to play games on a computer would be immensely helpful.
Oh my God. Yeah, especially because then Matt can we can like do things with Matt more.
Yeah, like we could. I mean, nobody wants to use Cardfight Area, but we could start using Cardfight Area or Vang Pro for things. Like we could also just play like multiplayer games on stream.
Yeah, that's true. We could. Okay. I know I have my one copy of. Oh no, that's all Great Nature crap. Okay. I have my one copy of Gabreg in Maine. I don't think it'll ever go higher than that. Here's two. I'm definitely comfortable giving you one, but I don't know if how replaceable is the man. Let's find out.
I mean, it costs like nothing.
I know, but I also wanted to get a second SP because they look nice. There's $7 for an SP, which means I am okay with this. 2 for you.
Okay.
But I can't do it now. I gotta wait a month. So
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
you have so many broccoli because they are friendly. I know it looks like you just want to give them a hug. Like,
Okay. I highly doubt this, but there's like a random triple R grade 1 from set 2 for Brantgate that's like super expensive and played in Impaldio, which is
What
like
is
the
it?
main reason. It's like Baldereed, which is like the main reason I don't want to play Impaldio right now, is because I ain't paying $40 for this to like minorly optimize my ability to play this deck.
yeah, I have a similar thing with the Ezras for
Yeah.
undercover. Like, I don't want to pay $100 for a playset of a PG that I can search.
Yeah.
Um,
Because like the thing it does, like at the end of battle boosted, you like if you have a set order, you put it into Soul, look at the top
Oh.
5, add a
Oh,
grade 2
yeah.
or greater.
yeah, there's like a Brantgate guy. Shout out
Mhm.
Lauren at my locals. And then when I picked up Welstra, he was like, "Use Baldereed instead of this." I'm like, "Do I still need it?" And he's like, "Not really, but it's good." If I don't know if he's gonna have like it coming out of his pockets or whatever. Do you want me to ask him how much he'd
I mean,
be willing to sell for? Or
I mean, no, I don't. I'm not gonna play Impaldio. I'm telling you because I'm pawning the deck off onto you.
motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah, like I don't think you're going to spend the money on it. It's just one of those like, just letting you know this is still played in the deck even after set 5. So if you happen to have it, it would have been nice.
I'm gonna have to like make a clip of Walter White going, "You're goddamn right." What were you for Halloween, guys? I already said who I was. Were you guys anything?
Nope.
I was me, myself, and I.
Y'all are boring.
Yeah.
Yep, I sure am. Glad you found out now.
Also, I had to like be in the office that day, and no one else dressed up, so like I would have felt weird.
That's true.
Yeah, being like the only one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't get any walk-ins that day either, so it wouldn't have even led to like funny conversations.
That's true. Yeah, there is something a little weird about like dress up for Halloween during the day and you're not dealing with children. Then it's just like, "Hey, Steve, I like your Simon from Castlevania costume." And you're like, "Thanks, Jeff. I like your Link costume. You got those reports for me?" Like it just doesn't fit with like how you're dressed.
Yeah.
I didn't do. Whoops, sorry. Why are men so lame? I didn't do anything on Halloween. Technically, neither did Katie and I. We stayed in and we watched the M. Night Shyamalan movies Split, which I didn't like, and Trap, which I did like. But the reason is that we had my sister throws this party every year.
Mhm.
So we went to that the Saturday before. So like our Halloween was already done. Why are men so lame? Toxic masculinity. That's why we're not allowed to express ourselves.
What's lame about it?
I think just like if you go out of your way to express joy or like interest in something, a lot of the times you're going to get made fun of for it in some, for
Was
some
I supposed
reason.
to dress up as something for Halloween?
Mm,
Why? For who?
I don't know.
For me? To
M.
sit
Night
at
Sh-
home in a costume?
Okay. Now I want to see Matt doing what Matt normally does, but just in a costume. The sexier, the better.
What?
Yeah,
See, if Halloween ever falls on one of our usual streaming days, I will dress up.
me too. Yeah. Well, which it should be next year because it's Friday.
I have a
Like
whole year to figure that shit out.
Yep. M. Night Shyamalan is not a good director. He's not a good writer. He's an okay director. That's the problem. Is when he writes stuff, it doesn't go great. Past like Unbreakable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because Signs was just god awful. And The Village and
And
the
a lot of
movie-
other movies.
a lot of other movies, like the one not in Ba Sing Se. Yeah.
Alright.
But Trap was pretty good. It's like this guy who's a serial killer and he takes his daughter to a concert because she like got good grades, and they have like the SWAT team at all the exits of the concert. So the whole movie, he's trying to like find a way out of the venue with his daughter. It's good. It's a good movie.
Start charging my headset before it runs out of batteries.
I chilled at home and marathon season 4 of Wakfu. We don't talk about that one. You know which one. I don't know which one you're talking about. There is no movie in Ba Sing Se.
All right.
I forgot that existed.
Good.
Good.
I hope it becomes lost media one day. I already had my Skull Candy Girl moment, and the jewels I got for my face are like losing their stick, so no costume for me today.
Also, it's November 1st, so we're past the need for costumes.
Happy Dia de Muertos, everybody.
True. It's now the time for.
It's now Christmas season.
Yeah.
Like,
Katie made a good case to me about like there should be no Thanksgiving season. It's just the holiday season, and it covers both.
yeah, I mean that's already what it is.
Yeah.
You think?
You know, everyone just pretends to like pumpkin spice for a month, and then Christmas comes around.
You shut the fuck up. Pumpkin spice is delicious.
And then everyone pretends that they like peppermint for a month.
Okay, that one I'll give you. Peppermint's pretty gross.
I like peppermint.
I can tolerate peppermint. I don't hate it though.
But we're really just waiting for the real season, which is for Girl Scout cookies next year.
Are you a thin mints in the freezer type person, Matt? or something
100%.
else?
Yeah, totally.
If you're not, I think you're an alien.
I think I remember us arguing about this when I was in college, when we were in college, but where I was like, Samoas are the better cookie. Now that I'm older, I am a thin mints in the freezer person. You were right.
I know I was right.
God, way to take all the fun out of a come to Jesus moment. God damn. Mariah Carey has been freed from her prison once more. You joke, but like my literally 12:01 a.m. November 1st, Katie woke up, texted the Spotify link for All I Want for Christmas Is You to like our family's group chat and went back to sleep. I didn't
What the heck?
I didn't even realize it until I woke up in the morning. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do this?
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so funny. God, now I'm just remembering everyone treating Mariah Carey like she's an SCP.
Yeah. I don't know what SCP stands for.
Secure, Contain, Protect. I think it's like it's like an internet horror thing.
Gotcha. Oh, like a xenomorph or something?
No, not like more than that. It's like SCPs are just kind of like fan written kind of stuff or community written kind of like horror stuff. So a lot of
Secure, Contain, Protect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like community horror, like usually describing the different like SCP subjects and all of the like mysterious, horrifying things happening around them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny how some people are dressing as Santa right now. So honestly, good transition costumes. I treat her as a mythical being.
Yeah, exactly.
I treat her like she's like Longlegs or some other kind of horror movie monster that's just stalking me for 10 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
Frosting.
Just waiting to be released from containment.
Yes.
Okay.
I know you wanted to do deck profiles tonight too, right?
And or like fight videos.
Gotcha.
I really want to be able to just like play my new decks, but I
Gotcha.
finally have them. So yeah.
When we do fight videos, I gotta kind of like rearrange my whole setup. So just let's do those for the later in the thing, please.
Like you can start rearranging your setup while I just like present the deck profiles.
Okay, God, fine.
I'm good. See, that's the thing is like hopefully having other people, because like I kept having trouble trying to record the Lycia fail one, so hopefully just having other people here will help.
Oh, just because we're like someone to bounce off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like I didn't love the way I was like presenting it before, so.
No, not you. I need a envelope. I know I have an envelope somewhere. There it is.
There we go.
Perfect. Got that. Top loader. Aha.
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 So let me know when you're ready.
For the deck profile?
Yeah.
Go for it. I'm just gonna be rearranging my setup and talking shit while you're doing your thing. So go nuts.
All right, hello everybody. I'm just clipping it from my stream highlights this time because every time I tried to record this solo, I wasn't able to do it. So, Set 4 came out last week at the time of this recording, which means it's time to do deck profiles for all the new stuff. And since I've been on a lyrical kick already, I might as well just start with the CFAL. So, like I always tend to do, I'm going to have multiple deck lists. I'm not doing the thing where I go like card by card talking about all the different options I'm considering, just because I kept trying to record that part solo and I just couldn't figure out a way to present it the way I wanted to. Deck log isn't great for that. I'll have to figure that out for the future. So we're going to start with, what if we play every lyrical staple and the deck costs $500?
Seriously, $500?
It might be more than this, actually, but
that's not better.
All of the staples by themselves are already like $370.
Wow!
And this doesn't account for them going up in the future. So
Now, at any point when you were doing the math on this, were you going, "This is a good decision" as you type it into each part of the calculator?
Did you not see the Twitter thread I posted about this?
Oh, I did. This is for me. This is for fun. Yeah.
So so this is the version of the deck that plays the Willista Ride line.
Okay.
So because this is a deck that utilizes Soul, and the Willista Ride line functionally does the same thing as the Lysiafail one. Lysiafail's actual ride line, the grade 1, is like when it's rode upon by the grade 2, you draw a card, then put a card from your hand or rearguard circle into your Soul. Willista does basically the same thing, where you put a card from hand into Soul to search a gem card instead of drawing, so you have a little bit more control over what you're taking out of your deck. And then the grade 2 is just when you play a gem order, you draw a card. The gem itself goes into your Soul and draws you a card. The Lysiafail grade 2 normally is when rode upon by Lysiafail, you counterblast or energy blast 3 to draw a card and then Soul charge 1. So overall, you get the net same amount of cards into your Soul. You get 2. And then you also see the same amount of cards out of your deck where you're drawing 2 cards. So, it's all the same. Just the Willista's Ride line gives you, more control over what you're doing because you're not blind Soul charging compared to the Lysiafail Ride line. For the rest of the deck, we are, of course, playing Lysiafail herself. So her ability is when she attacks while she's not boosted, you Energy Blast 3, put 2 or more rear guards into the Soul. She gets Drive +1 and 5k power for each card you put into your Soul. And then, of course, as a Destined one, she has a Divine skill. So at the end of the battle, she attacks a grade 3 or greater unit. If you have 6 or more cards in your Soul, you Counterblast 1, stand her, she gets Drive -2. And until end of the fight, you, the player, get all of your Vanguard with Lysiafail, get 5k and a crit, and this lasts on both turns. So after popping the Divine skill, she's just always going to be 18k with an extra critical.
It's pink.
Yeah. Pink.
Looking good, Barbie.
Yeah, so obviously, because Lysiafail's ability is going to be minusing you just kind of inherently, we want to be playing a bunch of cards that kind of help with managing card advantage. So the first one is Strega. This was the order card similar to Teeth Fault for Keter. So when it's placed other than by a unit card's ability, if you play a normal order, Soul Blast 1, look at top 5, choose something grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, call it if it's a unit, and then add it to your hand if it's an order. And on attack, if it attacks a grade 3 or greater, she gets, and she was placed this turn, you Counterblast 1, draw a card, and she gets plus 10k until end of turn. So obviously, the drawing card is useful, helps make up for the minus you're going to have when you put your rear guards into Soul for Lysiafail. And the extra 10k power is good for making pressure. Also, because we are playing the Willista Ride line, because you're always going to be playing the gem card during turn 2, that turns on the first ability. So you could go Strega, Soul Blast 1, call something else, and that helps you build a board early to pressure your opponent.
Oh, good.
We are also going to be playing a little demonic method Veilfer. So this was a triple R introduced in the last lyrical set that came out. So on play, you may soul charge one, then you can draw counterblast to draw a card. This is not grade restricted, so similar to Strega, it's useful as just like, okay, you put it out early, draw a card. You also get to soul charge a little bit to help fuel Lycia Fail's divine skill. And then if it attacks a grade 3 or greater, if you have a card with the same name as your Vanguard in your soul, she gets 5k. Drink. We are, of course, playing both cyclers, both to like get some early advantage, but also because they are kind of useful as units in and of themselves. So we're putting more copies of Valshablan just because you're not always going to have the energy available to use Prescia, just because Lycia Fail herself energy blasts. So you're going to have an excess of soul from all the soul charging you have with like the gems and Veilfer and Lycia Fail's own ability. So you should be able to afford that. And then your numbers aren't always going to be spectacular either for this deck. So plus 5k to the front row is pretty useful. And then Prescia is just the energy one. Prescia has some extra utility, being able to use it on the guard circle. And then the second ability to bounce one of your rear guards back to your hand could be useful. So if you're using Strega turn 2 and you call something that you want, like a PG or a trigger, you could potentially bounce that back with Prescia, although admittedly that is very slow because she only works when you Persona Ride.
Okay.
Next up, we have Albelina. So this is a dedicated support card for Lycia Fail. So if you have Lycia Fail Vanguard, she gets 5k. Drink, but also part of the reason why Valshablan's plus 5k to the front row is helpful, because this is only 15 by itself. That means when you try to swing with it unboosted, it's only going to be like 15, 25. And then when your grade 3 or greater Lycia Fail attacks, if your front row has no other rear guard, so the intention is that, you know, your other column you're going to put into your soul with Lycia Fail, you stand her, and if your opponent's grade 3 or greater, she gets plus 10k. So, like, you could just boost her, so she'll be, like, 23, 33 with Persona Ride, but, you know, being able to, like, boost her up with Valshablan to get her to, like, 30k clean is helpful for, like, finagling your numbers. Also, an interesting thing about Albelina is that because of the way Lycia Fail works, where she's going to be attacking twice during the Divine skill, you can hold Albelina's restand until the, like, second Lycia Fail attack, so instead of attacking with Albelina right away, then attacking with Lycia Fail and restanding, you could attack with Lycia Fail first, restand with the Divine skill, then attack with Albelina, restand after the second swing. So that way, like, the triple drive worth of triggers can be put onto Albelina, and you can kind of save that pressure across 2 attacks. Next up for grade 1s, we have Sway with Swings, Balatial. So this is kind of the special booster that all of the, like, Fated/Destined ones get, or most of them. I don't think all the Destined ones actually have special boosters. But during the Battle of Boosted, if you have a grade 3 or greater Lycia Fail, it gets 5k, similar to all the other ones. But, of course, Lycia Fail's effect only works when she is not boosted, so instead she has an ability when it's put to from Rearguard Circle into your soul, where you get to draw a card, so she helps to make up for the minus of putting her into the soul, and then if you didn't countercharge this turn, you get to countercharge 1.
Wow, that's really good. Like, yeah. It's always kind of frustrating when you have, like, this is meant for boosting, because there are times where, like, I ran out of interceptors, or I just drew them, and now I have to call this in the front row. But that, like, does more. You know, it's greater than the sum of its parts, I think.
Yeah. So this card, super important, and it's only a double R, so it should be cheap. But this is probably the biggest way you're going to be able to make up the card advantage. And countercharge 1 is also nice for just resource management. After that, the eternal lyrical staple, Yuika. So you know it, you love it. When your other unit is placed in the same column as her, if your opponent's grade 3 or greater, she gets plus 5k. And then at the end of the battle, it boosted a rear guard, Soul Blast 1. You can bounce the boosted unit back to your hand. Super important card. Help protect things like Albelina if you're playing against, like, a removal deck. So let's say Varga, for example, that's going to blast your front row. But also, it means, like, early on, you can cycle back a copy of Strega or Veilfer so that you can use their effect a second time. Just all around, like, really powerful card. And yes, this card is somehow still $30 despite having 4 different printings.
Impressive, to be honest.
Yeah. That's
Like the lowest I've ever seen it go was $15, and as soon as we got like a meta relevant lyrical deck, it immediately shot back up to 30.
of course.
And then finally, we have 2 copies of Resia. So this is a 3K grade 1 that on play you just choose one of your other units, it gets power plus 10,000. Like I said earlier, your numbers are only okay. Like Strega can get pretty big, but like Albelina typically only becomes 25 on her own. So being able to like boost her up so that she can hit good numbers unboosted is very nice. And being a 3K doesn't matter because you're just gonna put it into Soul with Lycia Fail anyways.
Yeah, this thing is in like a lot of lyrical decks. A lot of lyrical decks are just like, hey, on call given 10K somewhere is like kind of nice.
Yeah.
Especially in a world where it's like 5K over here, 5K over there. Pay Counterblast 2, get 5K.
It's so funny that the old risk of having like a card like this does no longer exist, where you might accidentally have to ride it. It's just like, no,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
can't happen
God.
anymore.
Like, remember those base 3K crit 2 guys?
Oh,
from-
yeah,
I mean, not even
yeah.
that. You just talk about domain, right?
Yeah.
Like that was like the classic.
Mhm.
God, especially frustrating in
Shadow.
V, because like
Yeah, the V Shadow Paladin,
Yeah.
where you just had to run a bunch of 5K units.
just call them. Yeah.
And then, of course, 1 copy of Illumiraze. Did you know this card is $20?
What?
Huh? Why?
Yeah.
Dude, if
Like-
we're gonna be dunking on Lyrical or Bermuda for anything, it's the fact that it's so goddamn expensive.
Yeah. It's great, isn't it? But yeah, Illumiraze is $20, but you have to run it because that's the whole point of the Willista ride line,
Oh, for
which is
God's
why
sake.
this deck costs $500, possibly more. Trigger lineup, we're running 8 crit, 3 draw. Front triggers don't really work with this deck just because you're shoving all of your rear guards into Soul.
Right.
Uh, 4
Waifu
heals.
tax to
I'm
the
just-
extreme. Like,
Yeah.
and again, we should probably stop doing that. The whole
Yeah.
like, oh, waifu tax or whatever, because a friend of ours was attacked for this when they really shouldn't have been.
Yeah. I'll have to
Um,
talk about that next time, but like, can people be fucking normal about this clan?
Like,
Nope.
no, they can't. And I've definitely given you flack for this in the past.
Yeah.
I like how our viewership dropped when we brought that up.
Nice.
Well, yeah. So quit ragging on people for that, please and
Mhm.
thanks. So you're using the purple OT, yeah?
Yeah. So, like, the purple OT actually does have some synergies, just because, like, the way the timing of everything works, Albelina restands when Lycia fails attacks. So, like, you're gonna like attack, then you're gonna do your drive check, and then because Lycia fail, you have to put your front row in order to restand Albelina. You're gonna have an open circle to call things to.
Nice.
So it's just like a big ass heal trigger and an extra attack. It is a little unfortunate if you want to do the thing.
purple
that I-
drank OT. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
One thing I will say is it is a little bit awkward if you wanted to do the thing that I said with Albelina, where you hold the restand until the second swing with the divine skill. But in testing, I have yet to be punished for doing this, so you know.
Always good.
The other option that you can do is run. Also, the purple OT isn't super expensive right now; it's only $11, and for a card that you only need 1 of, I find that acceptable.
I think so too. It's kind of like the Harmonix Messiah when they reprinted it. It went as low as 15 for a time,
Mhm.
and I'm like, that's okay. I think.
Yeah. And the other option, of course, is the blue OT. So, because of the nature of being both a restander and having extra drive checks, just more crit pressure from the blue OT is very helpful.
Right.
And then it also means that if you wanted to do the thing with Albelina where you hold her for Lycia fails restand, just putting a big ass critical trigger on the Albelina for 2 swings works perfectly well. So yeah, this is the super expensive version of the deck. And so now we're going to compromise, and the deck is only going to be $300.
That's the compromise.
Look, I have 3 deck profiles for this.
Okay.
So,
Hold your nose and close your eyes. Yeah.
So first things first, instead of running the Willista ride line, I'm gonna do something different. I'm running Astasis Nanami. So when it's placed on Vanguard Circle, you can choose a grade 1 or less from your drop zone and call it a rearguard circle as rest. So the reason I'm doing this instead of playing Lycia Fail's actual grade 1 is because I don't feel like thinking. I don't want to put a card from my hand into my soul. That is too much effort. And I am not crazy for this, actually. There's a topping list in Japan that does exactly this.
Whoa, seriously?
Yes. So I'm not crazy. And in fact, I came up with this first because I remember the first time when I was testing Lycia Fail back in August when the card was first being revealed. Like, I came up with it. So actually, I'm an innovator here. Then we're running the Lycia Fail Grade 2. Like I said, when it's rolled upon by Lycia Fail, you Counter Blast or Energy Blast 3, draw a card, and Soul Charge 1. So that can help you like build a bit of soul, and it's also like a sort of cycler effect. We're still running 6 cyclers. Prescia is only $15 right now, so it's not the most expensive thing.
That's
like
good.
most of the lineup is still the same. The big thing is I cut out Strega, which immediately saves you like $120.
What kind of Yu-Gi-Oh shit is this? This is
Yeah.
driving me nuts. Yeah.
So instead, we're playing Charmy Present Amphi. So this is a grade 3. When it's placed on Vanguard or when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, you have a grade 3 or greater Lycia Fail. You Counter Blast 1, draw a card, and she gets 5k. And then when it's put from Rearguard Circle into the Soul by Lycia Fail, you give your Vanguard 5k. So it's nice for making Lycia Fail just a little bit bigger. If your opponent doesn't have multiple PGs, especially on the restand turn, the extra 5k can matter. And then the last thing is I'm running the
cup.
Grail.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the cup is also like $20, so it's not like saving any money compared to playing Illumiraze. This is just like, I am cursed to never draw my Persona ride, so I have to play the cup to make up for it.
These are so expensive, Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the slightly less expensive version where you're still paying out the nose for like Yuika and all of the cyclers, but we did cut out Strega and Illumiraze, so it's a little bit more affordable. And if you don't have the Grail, you can just replace it with something like Twin Cast or even just like the Jewel Beast. I think the Jewel Beast for Lyrical is now only $6, which is nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, if you like don't have the Grail and you can't afford it, that one's easily replaceable.
Didn't they put the Grail in some trial decks or something that I'm forgetting?
Yes, they did. That didn't help the price.
Tragic.
Because no one bought those things. And
That's
then
true.
finally, doing as the kids say, our best. So now I have just cut out everything that costs any remote amount of money, except for Valshablan. So the unfortunate thing, if you've ever played a deck like with or without cyclers, you know that like having the cyclers is very valuable.
Yes, it is.
Like there's just such a noticeable difference, and because Valshablan is only $11 right now, like I could justify running 3 of them, and that comes in under $40. So that kind of follows within my rule of a budget deck not having anything over $10.
Right.
So
after
wait, that,
the budget deck isn't so much about the final price, but the individual card price.
a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. I try to also keep it overall under $100.
Yeah, same. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those, like, I understand that the, like, the psychic damage you take when you spend a little bit too much money on one singular card can be pretty painful. So, yeah. So we've, like, cut out Sanctitude, we've cut out all the Regalis pieces. The only remotely expensive thing now is Valshablan. Even the Jewel Beast is only $6, which is pretty affordable. We are now instead running Call and Response, so this is a normal order that you play by resting a rear guard. You look at the top 3 cards, choose 1 card, call it to rearguard circle, put the rest on the bottom of the deck on any order. This actually synergizes pretty well with Lycia Fail. Like I said, you have cards like Resius that you kind of don't need to actually use as a unit. Like she just kind of sits there, so you can like call Resius, give something 10k, and then use Call in Response to rest the Resius you weren't going to use anyways to like get more value out of your deck. And then we are also playing a Ballad of My Own Someday Siska. So when it's placed, if you do not have another rearguard in this with the same card name as her, if you have 4 or more units, you can draw a card, or you can Energy Blast 3 to give one of your to give her 10k. So she's either gets you more card advantage, or she can be a big ass booster. And I figure that is useful enough to like fill in the rest of the space in the deck. And now we just have to play the Lyrical OT.
Nice.
I find the Lyrical OT not to be super impactful. I haven't won a game that I've checked it in ever, I don't think. But, you know, it's cheap. So yeah, this is the like super budget version of Lycia Fail.
Okay. And is that what you're going to be running in the end, or was that the middle
No.
one?
No, I'm running the middle one.
Middle one. Okay.
Like, I have all of the cards needed to play this version of the deck. I just don't like running the Willista ride line.
Right. That's understandable.
Yeah. So yes, that'll be it for this Lycia Fail deck profile. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye, YouTube.
Rate, comment, subscribe.
All right. And then
Um,
I'll do like one more for Alcalibra, then we'll just record the deck, the fight videos.
Can I cram my Silhouette Man profile in here too? Or
Sure, if you don't mind
right.
staying a bit later to record the fight videos.
I do not care, mostly because Katie was like, "I'm tired." So
Real.
yeah.
All right. I will let you do your silhouette profile first,
Okay. Let me
and then I think.
pull that up on Decklog because I've had these two windows opened on Decklog just on my laptop for weeks
Yep.
now, and I haven't actually recorded the profile. So please bear with me.
Yeah,
People
no
will
problem.
expect
I'm just
that.
gonna mark the timestamp where you
Of
started,
course.
so I can edit these later.
Yes. Okay. And then, so I, like you, have made the version I'm actually going with and the expensive version. But being that Silhouette Man is, was cheap from the get-go, I'm trying to keep the spirit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, is that both of them? Good, good. All right, back here. Share screen. Purple Dranko T just gets me for some reason. Share screen. Yay. I think it was this one. Yeah. Come on. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So when you switch from one window to the other, what happened exactly? Or did you just type in the deck log code for the other one?
No, I shared the like Chrome window and just
Oh, the
like
Chrome
started swapping-
window.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I did is I just put StreamYard into a different window and then just made a window for all of my deck logs so I could just share them easily.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then instead of share tab, share window. There we go. That's great. Fantastic. Okay, when it hits 57, 59. Welcome, YouTube, to Nexus at Night, the stream deck profile where I am doing Silhouette Man because apparently my head matches the helmet. Now.
It does.
It does.
Wow.
Wow. So if you don't remember from way, way too long ago, Silhouette Man was a deck that came out and promptly sucked. I made it for $20. And then they gave us the good grace to give us a promo and some support. And it's still terrible, but it's also still pretty cheap. So I updated it for the price of a firm handshake and some vibes. And let's get into it. This is what, like, the first version of the deck profile is just going to be the version I'm probably going to actually play. And then the other one is if you have the monies to spare and then buy Silhouette Man with, if you're that kind of person. But if you remember from the beginning, the grade 1 searches the order that lets you search arms. The grade 2, when wrote upon, calls the arms from drop. And the grade 3 is the big cabage that allows you to attach 2 of the rear guard arms to itself and then move one back to rear guard standing afterward, after battle. This means that you get 4 attacks by just having a front row and then the Vanguard doing its thing. This also means that any triggers that you put on Silhouette Man, because they're attached to the Vanguard, stay on that rear guard when they move, because they're not called, they're moved. So that's supposed to be the fun, is you do like a front trigger, and it's plus 30 to your Vanguard instead of 10. And then you move that back afterward. So, of course, there's the Vanguard itself. Our 2 arms from last time, L lets you draw cards on attack so you don't take an L, even though you will anyway. And then R lets you, on attack, for some reason, retire an opponent's grade 2 or greater and give it plus 5k drink. Both of them cost a counterblast, even though they really, really shouldn't, which then led them to create Armed Arms the Drill. So from van or rear guard, when this attacks, and because you're attaching at the beginning of attack step, that means this effect is also active while attaching too. You can put a card with armed arms from drop into soul and either get a crit if it's attached to the vanguard, or just get 5k if it's on the rear. This is really, really, really good because now you can run front triggers with impunity, and your vanguard has crit pressure all the time. And it doesn't cost counterblast. So I'm a big fan of this one. I'm surprised they didn't call it Armed Arms D. I thought they were going to stick with the alphabet thing, but
That'd been cool.
yeah. I included 2 of the energy cyclers just because you do use energy with this other card that I'll get to in a bit here. So I didn't want to max it out. Also, like it's a budget deck.
And the cyclers are $20 right now. Ask me how I know.
That's true. I picked them up for when it was like early in the set's history. Thanks, Lauren, if you're out there. You can run these instead because you have a lot of soul in this deck because of Armed Arms Drill. It allows you to reuse them over and over and over. You don't really use that second effect to, play multiple set orders, unfortunately. So it's kind of worse later in the game, but it's okay. This is also the case for the cat, right? It's nice having more defense, and it's nice being able to just fetch the factory. Speaking of which, this thing that your grade 1 searches. Machinery's factory from the order zone, you can rest it, check top 7, put an Armed Arms name from that 7 into drop. So now instead of going from 2 names to search, there's 3, which also means more in the future, hopefully. But if you already have a name of the thing you searched in drop, you can call it to rear instead. But if you do that, the factory goes into soul. So you got to be careful. The goal is to keep using this turn after turn to load your empty drop zone and thin the deck by doing so. But you can also just from order zone put it into soul and call 2 Armed Arms back. So it's a very good card. You have it at 3. You get an auto search just by playing the game of Vanguard. And then the rest you can search through that or whatever else. There's this guy. This guy, again, Lauren, if you're watching, I'm going to fight you on this. Repair Robo Runny is, when placed on rear, Soul Blast 1, which you have a lot of. Look at top 7, choose up to 2 cards, each with different Armed Arms names. One goes into hand, the other goes into drop and shuffle. So there's yet another way to search Arms Arms. So you got the factory, you have this, you're just grabbing them out of the wazoo. And then when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with silhouette and its card name attacks, Soul Blast and retire this unit until the end of that battle door skill for the opponent. So this is real big deal if you have the drill putting pressure on the opponent with this front you see what I'm getting at? This is just good. I like this guy a lot. I think the guy at my locals was saying that this is annoying because you have to discard the rest, as in the rest of the search cards. No, it's literally just the cards that you pick. So you pick 2, take 1, scrap the other. This guy's still here, Rodney, where if something's been attached to the Vanguard, he gets 10k, which means that if you have to put him in the front for a turn, he's hitting for 18 on his own. So that's not terrible. But the big thing is at the end of the battle that your silhouette Vanguard attacked a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If you have no rear guards in the front row, you Soul Blast and stand him. So obviously the detaching happens after Rodney's effect activates. So nice. Boost with him, stand him back up. This promo, this is the thing that is probably going to cost the most for you as a silhouette player, is Resourceful Mechanic Winston. In the back row center, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all of your front row units with Armed Arms in their name get plus 5k all the time. So awesome. Now they're just hitting Vanguard on their own without having to activate their effects. And then the big one here is at the end of the battle that this unit boosted a Vanguard. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Energy Blast 3 and detach another armed unit. So this went from a 4 attack deck to a 5 attack deck.
Hey.
Yay, the Bushiroad special. What if attack more?
What if attack? Well, what else were you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
I think this deck has still got a problem with like this can only draw you so many cards, and this can only create so much pressure, and a 5th attack just isn't gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
you run mostly fronts. There's draws in there.
You
like,
ever feel the lack of crit pressure from like not having triggers?
Yeah. No. Because if you find the drill, which you will find the drill, like
Like
the fact that you get
you have the crit pressure on Vanguard. Just wondering, like, have you ever felt like, man, it'd be nice if I got a crit on my rear guard?
yeah, that would be nice. Definitely. I did have originally crits for a while.
Yeah.
But having just bigger hits
Mm-hmm.
felt better. Look, I'm not
Right.
saying this thing is going to be taking worlds anytime soon. It's very cheap. Now,
Yeah.
that said, if you want to swing for the fences, as it were, there is Silhouette Man the Bling Bling. So really the only difference here is that you were saying
Fucking-
Balduride,
Fucking $40 card.
$40 card Balduride. So battle that it boosted if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and you have 2 or more set orders, it gets 5k. And then end of the battle that it boosted, if you have a set order, put it into Soul, check top 5, get a grade 2 or greater card, or up to 1 set order. This is just fantastic. And if it was a double R, I'd be putting it in the deck in a minute, but it's $40, so no, pass.
Yep. This card is the reason I am not playing Impaldio.
Yes, but the deck is pretty much the same, right? Cat, PGs, Sanctitude, Cup. I do have refurbishment deck, meaning because Balduride lets you search for more 2s, you run more 2s, and then now your 2s can boost with refurbishment deck. I think it would be nice if the deck had maybe some counter charge, so I could counterblast more with impunity or something. But it's not really that great. It's not that terrible, but it's
You
not
could
that
be
great.
running Global Mine.
I could. I did run Bobble Mine for a time, but it felt like putting a hat on a hat at a certain point. Because there are times where you don't have a machineries factory because you use the effect to go into Soul, and then you just don't have a set order and you can't do Bubble Mine. A, and then B, like you can't use the Soul fast enough. Like you get a lot of Soul with that drill.
Oh, do I know?
So you're like, okay, I'm using it for the Battledore guy, and then I'm using it for the discard for draw or whatever else. Now there is, and Rodney. Now there is another card that they got for Silhouette Man, which is when you guard with it, you check top 5, put any number of armed arms onto the guard circle with it, and then shuffle the rest back in. If you didn't get anything, he just gets 5k shield. So he's always a 10k or greater shield, which is fine, but it just felt like a not lose card instead of a win card. Just something to consider. So yeah, Silhouette Man is terrible, and I love him, and I hope you will like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll try to
Share if you play.
Share if you play. Yeah.
We're just gonna steal that from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sure. Anything else you guys wanted to add before?
Did you ever? So what is? Did you chose to play 7 fronts instead of 8 and 3 draw, rather than you chose to play the 4th draw and only 7 fronts?
Yeah.
Any particular reason, or it's just like that one better?
Vibes.
Vibes. Yeah.
That's fair.
This was not me testing in a basement for 48 hours straight and being like, this is the way. It's Silhouette Man. Like, just, it's probably not going to make all that much of a difference in the end.
All right.
Honestly, I would love it if the deck just had a on play Soul Blast 2 draw. Like, if we got one of those, I would be happy. I think that would be pretty cool if they when they expand on the whole armed arms thing, they have the rest of the alphabet. Just make it happen, guys. Armed Arms X, and it's just a picture of Elon Musk. Sure, if you play, and we'll see you next time.
On stupid fucking X jump. All right, bye YouTube.
Bye. All right,
Ah,
so
yes.
57 to 109, 17 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So, your turn.
Yeah, and now we're gonna quickly do. I should be able to run through the next two really quickly.
Okay.
There we go. All right, so hello again, YouTube. So continuing on with our trend of set 4 posting, this time I'm going to do Alcalibra, probably one of my like favorite set cards out of this set, which you wouldn't expect given it's, me.
Wait. Let me do the thing. Hang on. YouTube. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
So yeah, Alcalibra is the new Dragon Empire destined one, so of course he has a divine skill, and he is based around the overcharge ability. So his ability is Act, you Soul Blast 2, choose 3 of your rear guards, they get 5k, and then if you chose 2 or more rear guards with the overcharge ability, you draw a card, and he gets 10k until end of turn. Then the divine skill is if your opponent's greater, you counterblast 1, choose 2 of your rear guards, they get 5k. And if your opponent has 4 or less cards in the damage zone, you choose one of your opponent's rear guard, deal a damage, and the power increase of the trigger revealed is reduced by 10,000. I don't get why it doesn't just nullify the trigger completely. This is a divine skill. Come on. The grade 2 in the ride line is when it's rode upon by Alcalibra. You look at the top 3 guards, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less card from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you reveal a card with the overcharge ability, it gets you can charge 1. And then the grade 1, when it's rode upon by the grade 2, call it and soul charge 1. And this is the first card we will see that has the overcharge ability. So overcharge is just like when it gets chosen by Alcalibra's effect, you like do a thing. So in this case, it just gets power plus 10,000. So for the main deck, this is the not so budget version of the deck. We are of course running 3 Persona rides. After that, we are running 2 copies of Panzerschreck Dragon. Honestly, don't love this card. It's just kind of there to fill in like overcharge names for other things. I like half like this card is, I guess, because there are times where like the energy charge is going to conflict with like the next card that we talk about, but I do like that it gains 15,000. So the overcharge ability is like on attack. If it was chosen by Alcalibra, you energy blast 3, it gets 15k until end of the turn, and at the end of the battle, retire it to draw a card. So
Okay.
I like the plus 15,000s combined with the 5k from Alcalibra. That makes it 33 on its own, which is quite big. The problem is it kind of conflicts with the next card, Drag Ritter Shalhoub. So if it was chosen by, or if you have 3 or more units with the overcharge ability, it gets 5k, and then the actual overcharge effect is if it was chosen by Alcalibra, you can energy blast 3 to restand it when your Vanguard attacks. So the problem with it is just that both of these are energy blasts and you don't really energy charge in this deck, so they are going to kind of conflict a little bit. I think this is one of those cases where like if you're playing the deck on the budget, you will have to run Panzerschreck Dragon, but so I'm only running 2 in this build because I think it's an okay card. Like I like the big Numby, but it does
The big
conflict a little.
Numby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This card is Alcalibra is just big Numby Turbo.
Can we call it big? Can we call it Numby for life? Big Numby.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I am running the Dual Nation Ford, so this is like on place, you soul charge, and then it gets 5k, and then you can optionally counterblast to either call a grade 2 or greater rear guard from your or grade 2 or less card from your soul, or retire one of your opponent's grade 2 or greater. So despite being Dragon Empire, Alcalibra doesn't have a ton of removal, so Ford is nice for that. And also, being able to toolbox out of your soul is nice because you do a lot of blind soul charging. So if you soul charge something like a Shalhoub, it'll be nice to call it out. But also, in general, because you're soul blasting 2 for Alcalibra's effect, you just kind of need to have it. We're running Foulheart, the energy cycler. It does conflict with our other 2 energy blasts a little bit, but this deck also doesn't counter blast very much, so you can choose to use the counter blast for the draw instead.
I was gonna say I'm hearing the phrase conflicts with each other a lot. I feel like that's gonna get you in trouble.
Not really. That's why I'm only running 2 Panzerschreck, and quite frankly, like if I really wanted to, I would just cut the 2 Panzerschrecks for like a 4th copy of Shenri and probably a 4th copy of the Order. But yeah, we're running cyclers because cyclers are good. I tried playing the deck without them, and it felt bad. It turns out drawing cards early to make up for your discard is quite nice. Who would have guessed? We're running 4 copies of Eadil. So he's a grade 1. On play, you can if you have 2 or more units with the overcharge ability. So funny enough, because the grade 1 has overcharge and calls itself out, you can do this like turn 2. You
Whoa.
draw a card.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you draw a card and then soul charge 1, and then the overcharge is it just gets plus 10k. A lot of the overcharge cards are just like plus 10k.
Of course they are. 10,000 powered.
Yeah, so Drag Gritter, is that an R? Yes, that's an R. Drag Gritter for Riza. So it just has overcharge when it boosts if it was chosen by Alcalibra, but it's plus 10k until end of battle. And then if you didn't countercharge this turn, you can retire it to countercharge 1. Running 3 copies of Shenri, so when it boosts, if your opponent has 1 or less rear guards, or you play it in order, she gets 5k, and at the end of the battle, you put her into soul and draw a card. So Shenri, a little bit expensive. I think the card's like $7-10 right now, but because we do have an in-archetype order, like it is useful for building up soul and digging deeper into your deck. And also early on, especially if you go first, frequently your opponent does not commit enough rear guards to block Shenri from resolving. So it's like, if you find her early, we'll probably resolve, and then later in the game, we can be playing to equilibrize, which last time we saw this word, we thought it was a fake word, so we had to Google it, and it turns out it's in fact a real word.
What was the word again?
Equilibrize.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember us arguing about this.
That is exactly the real word as it turns out.
Yeah, to equilibrize the scales of the world. So this is the order we're running, both to fuel Shenri, but also because it's a good card. So if you have a Vanguard with Alcalibra in its name, you play it by Counterblast 1, choose 2 grade 3 or less cards with different names and the overcharge ability, call them to rearguard circle. So very useful, both for like building a board, so if you don't find your foul hearts, or you can't afford to play them, you just drop your overcharge name, and then scales bring them back. But also late game, especially if you're playing against things that have removal, which is a lot of the decks in the format, then you can also just bring them back for Counterblast 1. And then, of course, after that, we're playing 3 PGs, 1 Sanctitude. I put the Crest Sanctitude in here just because I think I was copying it from the budget version of the deck. And last time I checked, Crest Sanctitude was cheaper, but just use whatever version of Sanctitude you have.
Pretty much.
After that, 8 crit, 3 draw. Don't really need to run fronts because your numbers are big enough. 4 heal, and then the over trigger would just drag Veda because restanding your Vanguard is good. And then for the budget version of Alcalibra, we cut out everything that costs even a remote amount of money except for the Sanctitude, which I feel like Sanctitude has gone up. So if you can't afford Sanctitude, just run a 4th regular PG. But we replaced all of the expensive cards with more copies of Panzerstrike Dragon. We are now running Brachio Force, so on hit you can retire it to draw a card and then retire one of your opponent's rear guards. This has been a staple in like Dragon Empire just for like decks that aren't doing anything.
Yeah, it's the I need to fill up some spots in the deck and I don't know what to do.
That is exactly why I'm playing this card.
Makes sense.
And
This card
then,
looks sad.
yeah. And then the last thing I'm running is this double R from set 1. So Dancing Princess of Elegant Flames, Ulfa. So when it boosts a rear guard, if you Persona Road this turn, you can Counterblast 1, choose one of your units until end of turn. I guess at the end of the battle, it attack, it gets crit -2, and then increase or decrease its critical to 2. So basically it becomes a 2 crit unit and then becomes 0. So you can make it work with Shell Hoob. What you would just do is like, you would attack with it first, and then you would either like save the boost, or if she's just boosting your other column, you can give Shell Hoob 2 crits on the second attack, so it doesn't matter. Or like Panzerstrike Dragon, because it's 33k on its own, it becomes 40k if you Persona Ride, and then can become. And then the column can go all the way up to like 66 if you have one of the like plus 10k overcharge units behind it. So it's just like, all right, you Counterblast 1, make it 66k in a crit, and it's not like you're really using the Counterblast for anything else. So that is something that's like, honestly, I might consider it in the main deck if it weren't for the fact that like all of the other utility cards are just more useful. And then finally, we're playing 2 copies of Defensing Roar, which I would have also wanted in my actual build of the deck, but I just didn't have space for it. But that one is like, it's a blitz order where you choose one of your guardians that doesn't have the Sentinel ability, and it gets the ability that when it's retired from the guard circle, put it into your hand, and shield plus 10,000. So nice defensive option for you to just kind of round out the deck. So yeah, that is going to be it for the Alcalibra deck profile. I think Alcalibra is just a really good deck, both for like budget players, but also for new players. It's a very simple deck, as you can see. All of your cards are just like, when they're chosen by Alcalibra, they get more powers. Like the only thing you really have to think about is just managing your energy so that you can use Shalhoub. And like conserving your resources is like a macro skill that you should just be learning anyways.
Macro skill is a great word.
Yeah, because that's just like, well, that's just one of the basic ass things about Vanguard is resource management. So
Yes.
if that's like the only thing you truly have to be thinking about when it comes to like playing this deck, then I think you can just hand it to someone who has no idea what's going on in Vanguard and they'll figure it out. And the deck is also strong enough that it has some tops, not a ton, but good enough to be at least like rogue meta. It wouldn't be surprising if it ended up in like a top 32, for example. So if you also just want to play a competitive-ish deck without having to think very much, this is also great for you.
This gives me undercover vibes, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, that is going to be it for this deck profile. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Newcomers subscribe. Okay.
All right, so that went to about 120.
30 something. 30.
Yeah. All right, and then very quick, we'll just do an Alden deck profile.
Oh my god. We've done 4 in a row now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm just getting this all out of the way right now.
Okay. I mean, I did put it in the description. So many deck profiles. Ah!
Yeah. So 121. Let's just say 121 third. 10. All right. Hello again, everybody. We are continuing with the set for Bonanza because I bought a freaking case. What do you want from me?
I think the funniest part is someone's going to be watching this in the future, and they're like, why do they sound so tired and exasperated? It's because we've done 4 of these, and this is the 4th one.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm going to go very quick because I didn't even bother to make a budget version this time.
Oh my god. All right.
Yeah. So Alden suffers from an unfortunate case of being a Keter Sanctuary deck.
Meaning?
You have to just play the like $500 version of the deck because the deck is so much noticeably worse when you don't.
Yep. That
Yeah.
fits.
This is one of those cases where it's like, I could have thought of a budget version of this deck.
Nah.
I just didn't want to.
You want
Anyway,
budget
this
Cater
isn't-
Sanctuary, play Undercover. Like,
Yeah. This is also probably not even an optimized version of the deck. If you look at a topping list from Japan, it looks nothing like this. This is just the build that I thought was fun, while also still like competitively viable enough. So anyways, the new Alden, the Destined One of Protection. When a card would be when a card would be called by this unit's ability to rearguard circle with a unit, return the unit on the rearguard circle to hand instead of putting it into drop zone. I don't know why I was struggling with that one. When it attacks, you counterblast 1, draw a card, choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it to rearguard circle, and until the end of your opponent's turn, it cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects and gets power plus 10,000. So, and then the divine skill is act. You soul blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose 2 cards from among them, call it to rearguard circle, and until the end of your opponent's turn, they cannot be retired by card effects, and then shuffle the deck. The hell are we even protecting here? You know there are like other ways of removing cards that isn't retiring, right?
Don't know.
Like 2 of the best decks in the meta right now bind your units. Like you could at least make it so that they can't be chosen. Wouldn't save you from Shoujo Doji, but you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like I want to like Alden more than I do because I think that first effect is super cool. Very like Bermuda-esque vibes, being able to bounce things back to your hand. But funny enough, I think having a divine skill like holds him back because you can only do it once. So like the ability to like toolbox by like calling things and bouncing back to your hand in the main phase is like something you only do the one time, and then the rest of the time you're like, all right, so this is just like a normal ass Keter deck.
Right.
Anyways, for the rest of the ride line, the grade 1, when it's rolled upon by the grade 2, you look at the top 5 cards, choose a grade 2 or greater card from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand. If you didn't reveal anything, you energy charge 2. And then the grade 2, when it's rolled upon by Alden, you soul blast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose 1 grade 3 or less card from among them, call it to rearguard circle, and shuffle. As usual, we are playing 3 Persona rides. We are playing 3 copies of Heavenly Blade of Liaison Razianel. So when it's placed, you can Energy Blast 4 to draw a card, and then when your other unit is placed on the rearguard circle this unit was on by the ability of your Alden, you can give the place unit plus 10k until end of turn, and if your opponent's grade 3 or greater, you can Soul Blast 1, stand one of your rearguards. Extra attacks, yay. Next, we're playing Duscati, because Energy Cycler. Of course we are. We're playing Sharpness Knight Ermac. So when it's placed, if you have a unit with Alden in its card name, this unit gets power plus 5,000, and then if it was placed by your card's ability, it gets 15,000 instead of 5. Next, Know It, Fear It. We're playing
Oh
Tape.
God!
Sorry.
I see that silhouette, and just like fuck. There goes another $100 to whatever deck you're playing.
But yeah, so just like Strega, placed by not a unit ability. If you play in order, you Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5 cards, choose grade less than or equal to, or if it's in order, call it to rearguard circle, or if it's in order, add it to your hand. And then on attack, if you have, when it attacks a grade 3 or greater, if you have 4 or more units, it gets plus 10k. We are also playing Gragaon, so this is a grade 1. If your unit was placed by the ability of your Vanguard with Divine Skill this turn, at the end of the battle it boosted, you can retire it to Soul Charge or to Countercharge 1 and power plus 5,000. So it becomes a 13k booster, and then at the end of the battle you can retire it to Countercharge. Pretty nice. And of course we're playing Sergalon. So when it boosts, if you have more rear guards than your opponent, or you played in order, it gets 5k, and at the end of the battle, you can retire it. Look at the top 2 cards, add 1 to your hand, put the rest on the bottom. After that, we are playing 8 crits, 3 front triggers, because we draw enough cards. The red OT for more attacks, and then for our order lineup, we are playing this Alden order, which I think most actual topping decks do not actually do. I'm doing this because I like Alden's like bounce to hand aspect, and this is one of the only ways you're going to give Alden the ability to call more things. So you play it if you have an Alden with the Divine Skill. So choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets the red text. When this unit attacks, Counterblast 1, choose a card from your hand, call it to rearguard circle until end of turn. So since Alden gains the ability, then it counts as his ability, and you can bounce a card back to your hand with it, which is nice. It means like more bouncing gives you more flexibility for like toolboxing with your deck. Most lists I see don't actually play it, but I'm going to just because it's a fun card. And of course, we're playing 3 copies of Wisdom because the stupid
Classic.
Peter pile.
I think that the funniest part about this card was that it is a promo for like shop tournaments. And whoever gets this is so mad because it's being everywhere.
Yeah, because it was a rare in set 8,
Yes.
so it's not like we need more of it.
Exactly. You're like, why I don't need this. This is not the thing you need to be reprinting.
Yeah,
Alderaan.
like you could have reprinted Tatefold instead, but no.
Nope. Just had to give us another goddamn copy of this thing.
So yeah, that is it for the deck profile. Normally I would be a little more in depth about these, but not even because we're on stream, just because like I didn't want to put more effort into this, honestly. Like Alden is just one of those decks where like I want to like it more than I actually do. Like the deck performance wise is fine. It is perfectly competent. It just feels like the existence of the Keter pile just dominates it. Like you might as well just play Rezile, which has overall more card advantage available to it.
I get the feeling Alden is going to be one of those decks where someone is going to stick with it, and then it's just going to get some like whacked out promo or double art or something, and just
yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that you can't. The majority of old Alden cards you can't play because it was designed for the other one that cared about different grades.
Correct.
It's so strange that like Divine Alden just like does something completely different from the other one. Like this is just like a completely different guy.
Should we just start calling the original one like Rough Draft Alden or something?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We're on like the 3rd Alden now because he started as a rear guard, became a weird Vanguard that like drew cards still like the original, but now had this thing where it cared about all different grades. And then now it's like, okay, well, we don't care about the different grade things anymore. He's just like protecting your rear guards from being retired and doesn't even do a great job of that because there's other forms of removal.
Yeah, like the second Alden, his sophomore slump, if you will, is he kind of reminds me of like when you're in college and you're just trying shit,
Mm-hmm.
like whatever, anything to get away from the identity I had in high school. And then now he's finally trying to go somewhere with it.
Yeah. Like, I think the concept of Alden is neat. It's just that, like, being a divine skill means we're never going to quite be able to do it to its full potential.
Nope.
So, yeah. That's it for this video. I think Alden is a perfectly fine deck. It's just that, like, in order to play it to its full potential, you basically have to be running the pile. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
40. All right. You up to record some deck files? Deck fights, I mean. Some fight videos.
I think I got one in me. I'm tired.
All right.
Let me make this happen. This is coming at you tomorrow. Your glow nipples and all that stuff.
All right. And I will work on sending you my stuff.
Cool.
Because I'm sending you all the Impulsio stuff too.
If you're saying stuff, I can't hear you very well. Your mic is the one in focus.
Hang on a second.
There you go. That's better. I gotta go get my cards from the other room. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, why is it not? Oh, this is the wrong fucking USB cable. I see. That's why it wasn't working. I hate this fucking Elgato camera because it needs like USB 3.0 and the only USB 3 that I have, or I only have one USB 3 cable, so it means that like every time I want to use this stupid ass webcam, I only have the like one specific USB cable that I have to use every time. And if I like lose it, I can't use this stupid webcam.
Owned. Me.
I hate everything. Okay, there we go. Stupid ass webcam. Oh god, please. There we go. You can still hear me, right?
Yep.
All right, perfect.
Damn it.
You all right over there?
So he's gone, I think, and
Yeah.
you're just no. Okay, you're there.
I'm here.
All right, cool, good and cool. So I am currently waiting on my extra copies of the mechanic Winston that I had ordered before November started. So we either have Wellstra not up to its full potential or undercover again.
Well, it depends. Like, what do you want to play against?
Oh yeah, I forgot I got one of these. I don't know. I did get the doggo, the furry, so maybe putting that in. And I don't have the Elfier's Girl yet. It's not going to kill me. I'll just play Wellstra.
All right. Now, what deck do I want to play against you is the question.
That's a good question.
I mean,
Fair
I feel like if you're doing Wellstra, I would play Alcalibra because that was the fight in the anime.
Right. But you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to at least get 2 fights in, but I know you're not up for that, so.
I am very tired. I just made it through in October, and I only okay. For those who don't know, being October as a teacher fucking sucks. So I just made it through, and I only got in trouble once, and I'll count that as a win.
Yeah. So I'll do Alcalibra. Like, I can hold the Listia fail video because apparently my shop is doing another Yume no Kesho on the 10th, which feels very soon after the last one, which means I'm probably just gonna play Listia fail there, and I'm gonna play Alcalibra this week.
Okay, so at least you can at least get your rocks off, right?
Yeah. And then I'll probably just attach this to the end of the Alcalibra profile. That one was only like 10 minutes anyways.
Oh, good. I mean, it's up to you. I trust you. We trust you. Got that. Got my energy counter. My dice are in the other room, and I don't want to go get them. So
even or odd?
Odd, please.
It is well, let's roll it again on the screen. It is a 5. You
All
choose.
Right. I'll go first.
Okay.
Matt, what you playing?
Oh, games.
Email.
Email?
Downloads. Store.
What's wrong with you?
Homestar Runner.
Always Homestar Runner.
Always.
That's still one of my favorite things that you've sent me is the dagger mouth things where it's like nobody gets your Homestar Runner reference.
It's true. That's nobody remembers that stuff.
I do, and it if I have kids with Katie, my kids will because that's just how being a parent works or something. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, draw, discard.
Put my mulligans yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll put one back.
Okay. I'm writing Strazer, and that's it. When you're ready.
Yep. Some of my cards are randomly turned upside down, so I have to fix that.
My cards turned upside down.
So, don't mind me. Don't worry, chat. I'm not cheating.
Even if he was, I don't think I'd care all that much. Is that sad? Or I'm just like, yeah, whatever. He kicks my ass on stream. It's cool.
You've won one time with Silhouette against Liel.
Once. And it was with Silhouette, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's draw. I will pitch the Cycler. Right. Draw 2. 8.
No guard.
Okay. Nothing.
What's her name? Borgia, the overly happy one.
Okay. All right. Your turn.
Draw. Oh, that's pretty good. Discard. Ride. Soul Blast. Grab. Where is he? The doggo. And I have 3 energy. I guess here I'm going to use this piece of paper for the for my
Mhm.
energy counter. All right. And then I'm going to play Lubetsol.
Mhm.
So draw and soul charge. No, that's fine too. Okay. Swing, energy blast 3, draw 1.
I'll take it.
Bull mine.
Right, nothing.
Go ahead.
Okay. I will stand and draw. I will just continue to not have energy.
Yep.
Honestly, this hand is kind of butt right now. Guess I'll just do this. 10.
Sure.
Right. Crit power.
First, same cheery girl. Second check, crit power to Van.
Okay, so you're at 20, and this is 26.
26. I guess it won't matter in the end. All right. 25 and 30.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, stand, draw. Okay, this is very strange that this keeps happening, but well, if that's how you're gonna play it, discard, ride, Soul Blast.
Yep.
Discard the dog.
Mm-hmm.
2 products with different names.
Yep.
So I can't search the Betzlaw because I already have one. Let's get Maxim and the laser. Whoops. The laser. There we go. The dog puts itself there by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got those. Let's go. Okay. Okay, Freiheit, Counterblast, discard the laser,
Yep.
grab. Can I search drop for that? If you want to search your guest deck, okay. For another laser. And then I can put a card from my hand into my order zone.
Okay.
So I'll add this, and then I will put this laser into the order zone.
Mm-hmm.
Laser. Which then lets me draw and energy charge 3.
Okay.
Divine Steel. I will put 2 Maxims
Yep.
in there. And then I will operate the Lubetsol.
Mm-hmm.
So check top 5, call something.
Yep.
Let's do. Yeah, that'll work. Call Sortion.
Okay.
Shuffle. Okay. And you're a grade 2, right?
Yep.
Okay. If I do that, yeah, that should work okay. All right. So when with Freiheit, do I type a grade 3? Nope. All right. Soul Blast 2
Mm-hmm.
to operate Lubetsol in the battle phase. So just draw. There's 10.
10. I'll grab
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Swing with Welstra. I will Energy Blast 2 to operate Maxim.
Yep.
So retire. Let's see.
This one counter charges. Both of them will gain plus 10k if I overcharge.
I guess just kill the front row one. And then minus 5k to your Vanguard, and then counterblast
Mm-hmm.
and bounce Freiheit to then call Max.
Okay.
So
I'll
this
take
is
your Vanguard.
23. All right. First, Global Mine. Second, heal. You're at
1.
1. Then I will heal.
Okay.
And power to Maxim.
Okay. Damage check. No trigger.
Okay. Then this is 41.
Take that.
Okay. End of turn. This goes back. This effect's going soul counter trigger. Go ahead.
Draw. I'll ditch this. Ride. Energy charge 3. I will look at my top 3 cards. Add this to my hand. Put the other 2 to the bottom. And since it's an overcharge unit, I will countercharge. Or soul charge 1.
Okay.
Next. Call it counterblast 1. Actually, do I want to call it there? Yeah, that's fine. Draw a card. Soul charge.
I'm surprised chat hasn't said anything in like the past half an hour.
They're just so engrossed in what we're doing.
They're so engrossed on purple Drank OT. And
Yeah. Call this. I'm not going to bother with the Panzer Shrek. And I will call this from my hand. Then I will Soul Blast 2. I'll choose these 3. And then Alcalibra gets 10k and I draw a card. All right. So that's 20 plus 23. 43.
you said that so casually. Damn it. Fine. Nothing. Why? I have taken her on damage 3 times this game. This is very, very strange.
Yeah. This is 23. Skill of Shalhoub. I will Energy Blast, restand him, and he gets 10k.
So
this is 23 from my Vanguard.
Oh, here is 43.
Okay. First check, no trigger. Second check, no trigger. 30.
28 and 33.
Yeah. And I did not overcharge her, so this is 23 plus 8. This is 31.
I'll take that. Damage PG.
Okay. Your go.
Stand, draw. Of course it is. Persona Ride. Draw. All right. Let's see. I will play the laser from hand.
Yep.
Which will let me energy charge 3, so I'm up to 9. Draw 1.
Yep.
Call a Freiheit and another Freiheit.
Mm-hmm.
You're at 3. That'll work once. Okay. If I do that now, because I'm gonna. Oh no, that does work. All right, I'm gonna energy blast 7 to draw 1.
Okay.
Okay. Swinging with Vanguard, blast 2.
Mm-hmm.
Play the other laser that was not played this turn.
Yep.
Operate. So minus 10 to Vanguard and ping a damage.
Yep. Damage check. No, nothing.
And then retire. God, what's in the front?
Restander. The rest of them just gain 10k. This one can countercharge.
Kill the restander.
Yeah.
Yeah. So minus 10k to Van. This is 33 to your 3.
Yep.
First check PG. Second check Bulbul Mine.
Okay.
Let's see. Freiheit unswing. I'm gonna Soul Blast 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Lubetsol for the draw.
Okay.
This is 20 to your 3.
20 to my 3.
Yes.
So this will be 18 and 28.
Okay, and then another 20 to the rear guard.
Okay. Not operating anything. Oh,
Out of soul.
mm.
Go ahead.
All right. Stand and draw. I will persona ride. Draw. Okay. Let's see what my soul looks like. Nothing. All right. We will counterblast one. Activate scales.
Okay.
He's back.
I set the pendulum scale.
All right. Divine skill. I'll give these 2 +5s, and then you take a damage, and the trigger check loses 10k.
Seriously? Goddamn. Another fry height.
All right. Next up, his regular ability. I will Soul Blast 2. Give this another 5. Choose these 2 as well. And then Vanguard gets 10k and I draw. I have drawn nothing but triggers all game. All right, and Energy Charge 3 for a turn. Okay. Oh, and I have 10k from the Persona ride. Jesus Christ, these are going to be huge. Okay, so this is okay, so that's 20 plus 10 plus 15. So this is 35 plus 23, 58.
63.
Okay. 33. I'll Energy Blast 3. He restands and gets another 10k.
43, 48.
Okay, so that's 2 to pass.
2 to pass.
First check, nothing. Second check, nothing. Okay. So he's 40. This is 45, and this column is 16 plus 30, or 26 plus 30, so that's 56. 45.
I gotta take one or the other, so
Yeah.
I'll just take that first one. It's the doggo, and I'm dead. Again, there's the third one. Here's 2, and then I had to discard 1 for ride line. They all show up at the same time, and I don't know why.
I don't know.
They're just like, hey, we hear that you're trying to play a game of Vanguard. Why don't we give you Persona Ride? Forever.
Do you like Persona rides? What if I Persona ride your
Ride.
Persona ride?
Yes, and then you'll be Persona riding all day.
Yeah, I drew like 3 triggers in a row that first turn, and then drew
Nice.
another trigger off of Alcalibra's
That's
effect.
all you need.
Yeah, I don't think I did anything wrong necessarily.
No.
I'm guessing if I show this game to Lauren
Mhm.
from my locals, he's gonna be like, "You did this and this wrong. I know Breakgate. I'm the Breakgate guy." So
I mean, I probably would have saved the like Frey Heights, the operate for the second one if you were only going to be able to do it once. That way, you could still get to use
right,
maximum.
yeah. I guess I could have just for the second one to bounce the one and use maximum. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Which that's fine, I guess.
yeah.
I thought pinging you would do more because I was hoping for like some triggers and then just didn't. So
It's okay. Neither of us got triggers. It was just
True.
Also-
I did-
like maybe you didn't have to operate Lubetzel as often. Like I feel like you could have just gotten more aggressive with like reducing my power.
You
I
okay?
have something here. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Shout out to fabulous wife Katie.
Yeah, that's the only other thing I could think of is like maybe you just operate maximum more aggressively to reduce my power.
Yeah, or well, here's the thing, because whenever I talk to Lauren about this stuff, he's like, always like Lubetzel is the best card in the deck. Like not the laser, not Maxim. He's like, no, Lubetzel. Because you just draw so many cards so quickly. And I'm inclined to believe him, but I only found the one. So.
Yeah. But you're cursed to like only draw Persona rides apparently.
It's just a thing with me. I don't know why.
It's okay. I have the exact opposite problem.
where you just don't find them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the decks where it doesn't matter because my numbers are fuck huge regardless, but
I get the feeling if like we cloned each, like just found a way to combine our DNA, it would be like you get the perfect amount of percent rights,
yeah.
perfect amount of triggers, and then we just fail at everything else. But we're really
Yeah.
good at Vanguard. All right. Well, thanks everybody for chilling with us on
Mm-hmm.
the Nexus at Night stream. Follow us on at Nexus at Night in all the places. We have a Blue Sky account now.
Yeah.
I almost
What's
said Blue Sky, like it's Italian or something. Twitter sucks and we don't like it and want to leave.
So true.
Yeah. So at Nexus at Night there too. There's that. Patreon.com/Nexus at Night. Help us do what we do and be cool people. Do cool stuff and all that good stuff. And I'm Atlas Novak everywhere social medias are found, or my other podcast at Generation Dan. How's about you, EOS webcam utility?
At Wiggums, 2Gs on Twitter.
You can find me at Plasma Eclipse.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week. And until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And have a good night, everybody.